After black and brown Georgians went to the polls in record numbers in 2020 and on January 5th, 2021, evil forces in the Georgia legislature passed laws to make it harder for poor people to vote. They know that racism has nurtured poverty in our communities. They also know that if we vote, we have the capacity to make change. Show them that we will not bow down to racial oppression. Vote. It is your right, your privilege, and your responsibility.
Hey, this is Don D.C. Craddock from Mix 106 Radio in Atlanta, NAACP. I'm out here in the community, Cleveland Avenue Barber Shop today, talking to everybody over in District 12 in the city of Atlanta about getting this vote out. We're setting records each and every day, but I want to hear from the people on the street. Y'all come follow us as we talk to all the people that we can out here about getting out this vote. And then while you're waiting, go over to the website, AtlantaNAACP.org, and get in the fight and join us in doing this work. Let's go get this vote out, people. I want to know, like you look around Cleveland Avenue, you grew up over here? All right, what can we do to create safer place to live, and also create jobs for people to own their own shops like the Cleveland Avenue Barber Shop, or to own stores that we don't see in our community? What more can we do on that part, Cleveland?
I believe we need more consistency.
Okay.
Consistency, independency. I think we just need more people willing to get up, and say, I'm finna go do this today, but not just today. I'm gonna keep on doing it and keep on doing it until I got enough to better myself or just better my community. I think we got a lot of abandoned apartments and business around here. We could work on that. You feel me? A lot of people get money, they don't try to invest in their hood or where they from. They go take it other side of town and don't never look back. So I believe we can invest in that. And
so is there hope?
Thrive.
Is there any hope that we can do better in this area?
Oh, for sure.
Cleveland Avenue?
Yes, for sure. I believe it's a lot of hope. Like, if we don't got nothing else, we got hope.
The hope is in the youth.
It's in you young people,
yeah,
Right.
to do it. I want to thank y'all for your time, brothers. Let's go and win together, okay? Sure. And the way we do that is we harness the power that's within us, and that's the power to vote. That's the power to organize and strategize so that we can win each and every day. Y'all agree? Yeah. Well, let's do it on Cleveland, baby. How much power is the vote in your opinion?
The vote is the only thing that makes us all equal. One vote, one voice, that's it. No matter how much money you got, how much influence you got, you have one vote.
And having that power of the vote, what could that change in this community for all that live over here?
It could change everything. I mean, the vote has the power to change everything. It's been proven. We've seen it. We voted and we got the Civil Rights Act. We voted and we got rid of Plessy versus Ferguson. We voted and here we are, And I believe the local votes, the local elections are the most important. The votes for superintendent and for your school district, most of your property taxes are for the school district. The school district is one of the main things that drives value into your property. We have to vote for that.
I got to ask you this. Are you a registered voter, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, I am, sir.
Are you an active voter?
Yes, sir, I am, sir.
What would you encourage young black males and young people in this community to do when it comes to their vote?
This is my encouragement, and I'm that victim too. We vote on what we thought was important, which was the presidential election. We thought when we got the president in, which we didn't realize that the local elections were the elections that was going to affect us the most. Just like the young man said before me, your schooling, who's going to be your superintendent, who's going to be your police chief, who's going to be the mayor. All the small, what we think is the local elections are the ones that influence us. Just like right now, because we did have a president that gave us more education than we could have ever imagined. Mr. Trump educated us. We never watched CNN that much in our lives. We didn't understand the Senate. We learned about the Senate. We now can take back what we said about Barack Obama because we believed he wasn't doing anything. Without the Senate letting it through, you can't do anything. Now, for the first time, we have the Senate. That's why Warnock is important to us to keep the Senate control. See, these things we did not know. We thought the president did everything. But with that education now, we are more, politically more literate than we were before.
I got Ray McClendon in here. He is our political action leader for Atlanta NAACP. Ray, what does it look like our first week of early voting?
Well, we're excited, and because people are motivated, they're energized. They are not buying into the misinformation and the disinformation. They know how important this election is, and we're just so happy to see more and more of our brothers and sisters recognize how important this election is because health care is on the ballot. Mm-hmm. Indeed, Medicare are on the ballot. Yes, people are talking about issues each and every day that affect your daily life, and your life depends on whether or not you get out and vote.
Hey, yesterday you were out and about across Atlanta. The Atlanta NAACP, along with the Georgia NAACP, was partying to the polls. So how did it look to you yesterday?
It looked great yesterday. We saw a steady stream of voters taking up their right and expressing their voices across the city. And so we're excited about that, indeed across the state, to see more and more people recognizing to take advantage of early voting. You know, there's so many folks that are trying to come against us. The opposition has tried to use SB 202, the voter suppression law, and come up with all of these ways and obstacles of keeping us from voting. One of the ways to deal with that is to get out and early vote so that if your vote has been challenged, if there's a change in your polling location, you don't have to worry about that during early voting. You can get out early and vote, and that gives you an opportunity, if there is an issue, for you to cure that problem in time for your voice to be heard in the election. If you wait till November 8th and a challenge comes up, you might not make it. So get out and early vote. We still have today, next weekend, up through November 4th to early vote. We look at November 8th as being the last day to vote. That's not election day. Election day is today. Right. Today is election day. Tomorrow is election day. Let's get out and vote early and put those votes in the bank in order to ensure our democracy.
Yesterday, at Morehouse College, their homecoming, and by the way, they won yesterday. Those young men had on shirts saying, "Black men will show up and vote."
Black men are showing up and voting. Black men have now recognized that their voices are important. In other words, they wouldn't be trying to keep us from voting and try to slow us down from voting if people didn't recognize how important our vote is. 750,000 black men didn't vote in the primary, but we want to make sure they come out and vote now, because if even half of those brothers who didn't vote in the primary vote right now, we can change Georgia, which means we can change America.
What would you encourage these people that you've serviced for 30 years? What would you encourage them to do when it comes to this vote?
We need to get out, show up, show out, and let's make this thing happen. The reason is we might be 13% of your U.S. population. We might be 20% of Georgia, but 20% with 80% make 100%. We are needed to make a full 100%. If we put our strong 20% in the right location, we make the difference in the outcome of the elections. That's why we are an important aspect, minorities in any election in the United States, especially in Georgia, because Georgia now is starting to look more like a swing state to me. You get us, you got them, we are coming.
I got Richard Rose here from the Atlanta NAACP. Richard, if you mind coming on camera with me, this vote, man, this week has been historic. Georgia has never had this many early voters in 1 week in the history of the state. How do you feel?
Well, I feel good about it. So they're talking about that these are presidential type numbers. We have to remember that Georgia has a lot more registered voters, and we got like over 7 million. In 2018, I think we had about 5 million. So we have to get out this vote early. We doing the right thing because voting matters. You know, just think about the issues that we've been fighting for in Atlanta NAACP. You know, we've been fighting against these Confederate monuments, which continue to reinforce the principles of white supremacy on which African slavery was conducted in this country for 200 years. We got to understand what these numbers are all about. These votes will tell us who will lead us into these next 4 years, next 2 years, depending on the particular office involved. We have to change America. America and Georgia in particular. Georgia's minimum wage is like $5 and something. You know, we need a change in that. Georgia has 6 hospitals have closed under this current governor. 6 hospitals, not just the 2 in the Atlanta area and the other 4 around the state. Georgia has only 4 level 1 trauma centers in the state. We got about 11 million people. The city of New York itself, 5 million people, has about 19 level 1 trauma centers. We need leadership to take care of the people, not just take care of the business owner. And I'm a business owner myself. But it's got to be more about the people that we run into in the barbershop, in the beauty shops, at the model station, at the grocery store. We got to make sure that the leadership hears our voices, and the way we can hear our voice, the way we can voice ourselves is through the vote. We have to get out here and vote.
Well, Richard, are you encouraged that the black voters have shown up in this election?
Absolutely. This is what we must do. This is what we are doing. Listen, when the time gets tough, black folk know how to show up. And they tough right now.
Is none other than Attorney Gerald Griggs, justice fighter.
Yes.
That's your slogan.
Yes.
He is the SWAT team of protesting him and Richard. If you see some signs on your yard, that's it. This is the people that did it.
Yeah.
So Gerald, you're about justice. You're about police accountability. Is that on the ballot?
Absolutely, it's on the ballot. I mean, all up and down the ballot, whether it's the governor or the attorney general's race, you know, police accountability and criminal justice reform is on the ballot. But also economic advancement is on the ballot with the labor commissioner, and many of the state reps and state senators are on the ballot all the way down. And the ballot questions are also crucial for equity. So it's a lot of things on the ballot. People need to understand that and make sure they exercise their voice.
Are you excited at the numbers that has come out, over 700,000+ that has voted in the first week? Is that encouraging to you?
Absolutely, considering it's a midterm and they're breaking records in record time in the midterms. And we're seeing a large proportion of African-American turnout. About 35% of the early vote has been African-American. And so considering that we're only 33% of the population, we are overvoting. And so I think it's important, but we have to keep it going. You know, this is a finish line. As Ray said, you know, the election doesn't just happen on November the 8th. It's happening right now, and November the 8th is the last day to vote. So we need everybody to continue to push with that energy they have to make sure they vote and they vote early.
So what would we be telling South Georgia today?
South Georgia, we need you. Your vote matters. You know, it's not just about Metro Atlanta. It's about the whole Georgia and making sure that Georgia's voices are heard. So South Georgia, please get out to vote. Middle Georgia, please get out to vote. And sometimes we forget about North Georgia and in the mountains. Every part of Georgia should be out, mobilized, using their most powerful nonviolent weapon, and that's the vote.
If you got anything from this interview today, our president for the state conference would like us to know one thing and that is what, Joe?
Let's continue to vote at historic numbers. Let's make sure the voice of Georgia is heard. Let's show the world that Georgia is on our mind because we're going to change this democracy.
Hey, I got to get out of here. Ray is telling me I got to rap, and I got to go and, you know, I'm doing an aerobics class. I got to go.
You said water aerobics?
I got to go. Y'all go vote.
Make sure you got
we love, yeah, from the NAACP, go vote.